Hello out there. I am Servant. I am Pisces. How's everybody doing today? Hope you had a wonderful work day. Hope you blessed a lot of people. Gave somebody an oatmeal cookie. but what I've been doing today is I was studying along, doing a few things, and then God wanted me to go in deeper with a subject that's going to tell you why you're in the situations that you are at this point in time in the principalities pushing against you, trying to keep you confused. Well, this is going to kind of line your world out to where you understand what God had done and set out on. And like I said, this is history. This is way back when coming forward. We're living that history again. And it's been lived a few times, and nobody seems to can take the unction to say, oh, maybe we shouldn't do that anymore. But everybody wants to try to walk away from God and say self is it. It's not. God's got a thing, and it's going right now. And if everybody don't take listen, and like I said, kings, queens, that is truly what you are. You just don't know your lineage. You don't know how far back you go. But you stand upright, you do the right things, and you're doing them every day. Hey, more or less, you probably come from a royal bloodline. Okay? So understand that in this time that we're walking with now is the time where God has got a remnant floating. And the understanding of that remnant is that when you do something good or kind for somebody, it opens them up. They go into a cycle either where they have to be a really good person, or they end up in jail, or they just leave the scene. Sometimes the people can't be around you because your energy level's up high, your timeline's up high, and they can't be around you because you're positively one of the best people in the room, and you're just shining bright. So more or less, they can only take a few minutes of you and say, "I gotta go, man." But see, that's you walking in natural law with the Father and getting blessings and gifts in front of you, and the understanding that the love that He has for you, when you take your few minutes of meditation, few minutes, an hour, 60 minutes, give it 60 minutes, a little recuperation, or a little love. So the thing about it is that understand that as you come out of there and you're doing your thing and your happiness and you're seeing these things, kids are stuck to the ceiling, it's not really bothering you, and you say, "Hey, y'all get out from there." But you're obeyed. You understand that you're obeyed. So you have a reverent household. Some people don't have that luxury. Some people are still caught up in the principalities of the world that's been set up. Was way back a long time ago. It's just a new preference today, another word that they put in your way to keep you pushed down. Well, not anymore. It's not happening anymore. I'm gonna give things out where we was talking about the decrees, the decries. Well, the point of Lilith, Baal, Ashtara, Ashtar, St, ashtoreth. There's a lot of names out there. And we're going to go back to where Ananias, Adonias, yes, Greek, and Phoenician. So this is going to go back to where the curses finally start and coming out at the end to let you understand what happened, how this is brung upon you at this point in time in this day. And you just got to remember that the principalities of evil, they will disguise everything as a bowl of cherries when it's actually poison. So being aware of these things that I tell you, just add them to your life and understand that that's what it is. And God's given me the downloads to put out there for you to understand. This is pretty serious, you know. Um, the prophetic word from the Father to give it to you in this kind of context, because nobody else is going to tell you this. Um, I don't know why scholars and everybody else hasn't told you this. It seems like it's hidden, but it's not hidden. When God showed it to me, it wasn't hidden. It's just plain sight. But I didn't see it either till I got pushed down, shot up, tore up, run up, and then come to here. Now I understand. I understand exactly what He wants done. So I'm here. I'm as a king, and I'm here. So the understanding of what these people are doing on the outside world, they know exactly what they're doing. They have been rehearsed for thousands of generations of how to hold you down and keep you stuck, and to be able to monopolize off your blood, sweat, and tears. And you just don't know it. You know, like I said, McDonald's cheeseburger when you should be eating steak, you know. So, anyways, let me dive into this. And I don't know exactly how I want to go through it, but I'm going to go through it this way. I'll go through it through the biblical archives. This is an understanding that Tammuz is Hebrew. Tammuz, or Tammuz, Hebrew, a fertility god, widely worshipped in Mesopotamia, Syria, Palestine, equivalent to Osiris in Egypt, and Adonis of the Greeks. His consort was a goddess Ishtar or Ashtoreth. Their cult involvement, licentiates, rights, which is a licensing rights, more or less. Tammuz was supposed to have been killed by a wild boar while sheep herding his flocks. His wife rescued him from the underworld. His death was taken to represent the onset of winter. The long dry season was broken by spring rains. When he came to life again, the fourth month of the Babylonian and later Jewish calendar was named from him June and July. The only mention of him in the Bible occurs in the connection with the custom of women mourning for him, which being observed at the very gate of the temple of the true God seemed to the prophet one of the most abominable, adulterous things that ever happened. His Greek name, Adonais, is derived from the Phoenician and Hebrew word for Lord. So what that had done is that his wife had went to the underworld and pulled this spirit out, called for it, decreed it, whatever she'd done to pull it forward. And the point of the starting of Ashtoreth, that was a starting point of the part of bringing the souls back into the world, which was darkness. And she had derived that, and I really don't know the derision from where she come from at that point. It might be in the lexicon. I don't know. It could be LXX. I don't have a clue. I haven't looked that far back. I've just went back to this story here because it's actually sums it up pretty good. But Tammuz was the first start of where a deity or are they supposedly a demon, or supposedly a witch, or supposedly all these things that come from, which was Satan. It's Baal. So the thing that you got to understand is that her first act goes back to Genesis. So that's the furthest back in Genesis that we can go to finding out that in the King James Version, uh, there's more out there on it. I just don't have it under what I have, but I can get it. So the thing that understanding that all these deities, all these names, and all this thing, they're just bringing it forward. Okay, the decree, the the principalities that push against you, and the thing about it was that you thought it, you know, she was a woman. Okay, so what they're saying is that they're against her because she was trying to say that a woman god. Okay, well actually it was Satan and the dark magic that they had brought forward. So now they're just bringing it forward in a different way, in a different manner, in a different aspect. AI could be AI, could be, but we know the number 666 is Satan. We know if we take it, it's the mark of the beast. But this, Tamaz, was the start of the contention for women. It seems like what it's trying to proclaim is it put women into power. As of today, that they stand in power. But actually, it was used against them to create that power to destroy the surroundings. It works on both sides of the field. It went against both parties, um, and they didn't realize it. So you carry it forward today, the understanding of how that you look at the power of the principalities that are forming against men and women. Okay, it's just not just men, okay? It's also the women. The thing about it is empowerment in structure, the decrees that come out. Look at how many women are being thrown under the bus now. And what it was is Satan or Satan. Baal had come up to the point that he took Ashtoreth. Ashtoreth had a daughter too. Okay. The thing about it is that was a perversion to separate men from women, and in any way, shape, or form, and to be able to get to the children. But Ashtoreth, Ashti, Ishtar, the point of her subject was to put women in power. Okay, as of men. Put women as of men. Okay, we understand that. Not a hickey either way. But to pervert men into women. So it had moved from that far back to this far forward. Okay? And the thing about it was that you got to understand how Rome was. You know, Greece, it was just a complete free for all back then. So I went from here through Osiris, Egypt, Ishtareth, plumb down to Genesis, to where it first started. There's a town, or I didn't get to read it all, but there's a town or a statement of Ishtar. But it come from Tamas. So it started excuse me for a minute. Now that's where it gets really interesting, okay? The point that you got to understand is that the decree was all for women. the Ishtara, Tamaz, uh, all that was for women. And the thing about it was that women were tricked into this scenario the same as men. Okay? So both of you are together in this. It's not one side or the other. There's no blame to women, there's no blame to men. The thing about it is that your principalities around you are convincing you, okay, that all these things are okay and all right. But it's not a Democrat, it's not a Republican, it's not libertarianism, uh, it's not any of that. The thing about what you got to understand is that the being duped part is that the people that were in power, the upper echelon, knew this game. And all they had to do was push these buttons this way, this way, this way. And it was Satan, you know, through the part of Ishtara and her daughter to pervert, convert it into a silly matter, which it looked silly at the time as it was going on, but nobody caught on till it was too late. Now, the point of where we're at today with this is that these principalities are moving another direction now. They already got that part of the corruption started, but nobody was decrying or decreeing anything out there about any of this because I don't know if any scholar ever thought about it to go back through the deities and the Bible and everything and actually locate it and pull it down. But this is what I'll tell you. God's here to clean it up. I know that for a fact. And I'm here finding things that I never thought I would find that God's given me downloads on. Okay? So I'm going to also finish up this tonight on Twitch. So I'm going to do this study here, and then I'm going to do the rest of it tonight. The thing about it is that I'll do it tonight at 8 o'clock. I'm on Twitch on I Am Servant 777, I believe is what it is. But the thing of what you got to understand is that women, it's not your fault. It's not. And men, it's not your fault because you didn't know. I mean, it's very a precarious game, but you wasn't given the right tools, and nobody was ever going to give you the right tools to work with. They was going to take advantage of every woman out there and every man and every child that they could get their hands on. The stealing of souls. Look, these guys they're going to get busted big time is what's going to happen. And the remnant is floating, and just be good to everybody, be nice as you can, and then you'll see your world starts changing around, and then you catch your energy and your timeline. Okay, let me tell you just how that works. That gives you another biblical outlook on what the word really is and how it pertains to you and natural law, precepts, statutes, commandments, the loyalty to the Father. Okay? Look, meditation, an hour. Okay? It's really, really that serious. Not studying and trying to preclude whatever you're trying. Just sit and listen. Listen to him talk. You talk to him. Let him fill in the blanks, okay? You'll be opening up because, like I said, you are kings, queens, and princesses and princes. You know, you have this in you from your lineage. It's on your DNA, okay? So as you sit and you commune with God, and as you get in these downloads and it's all going in, you're going to wake up and you're going to find your energy level high. And like I said, you're going to figure out, why is this person so happy? Why is all this going on? Well, the thing about it is that soul of yours is really actually activating your DNA code. Okay? They wanted to. I will. There's another deal. I'm gonna probably set this out to where I have it on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on TikTok. I mean, not TikTok, but uh, yeah, Twitch. You know. But the thing about it is that these are pretty heavy. To understand that what you're going to be taking in, this is actually buffalo meat on steroids for the bones. So the understanding of how all these deities have worked. I had gave a clue quite a long time ago to some people that were listening on the part of Pazuzu. That's a Syrian thing. This is how far it goes back to Genesis, to where you start coming into understanding the part of Ezekiel, the part of tonight. I will be pushing out Ezekiel, all of it. This will be the meat for the bones. But what I'm trying to tell you is that all these deities are here today, and that's what they're using against you. Because look at here, this is cultural. This is things that people were using way back in the day against the wind, against the turn, against the cold, against what they had done is that the demons that were left on the earth had picked up on all these deities. And all these deities, they had started taking advantage of all these demons started taking advantage of these deities. Deities wasn't nothing but something that was actually brung up. It was just a name, like Pazuzu or Ashtoreth, Tamaz. Well, Tamaz is not a deity, but anyways, the demon part of it is that the demon is affiliated with that. As it comes forward, they knew how to use these tools. So each 100 years in these 2,000 years, okay, the deity's name changed somewhere along the line to narcissism, to bankruptcy, to not making enough money, to you're depressed, you're not your own person, you don't know who you are, you can't operate in this world. That's what I'm trying to tell you. These are the things that they have done, and they are really slick at it. They have really. You take Big Pharma, you take the doctors, you take the attorneys, you take everybody, and they write this, okay, into decrees. And these things are the part of understanding the civil obedience. Civil is civilian law. That is you, your personal world, the way that you look at it, your community. It's not so much as federal, state, local. It's your own person and the own persons around you to know how to live. You know how to pre-exist. You know how to congregate. You know how to fellowship. You know how the natural law works. Natural law and understanding your precepts, statutes, commandments, your testimonies. And as you go back through history and you come forward, then you understand where you're at in this placement. The digging in deep, what I do is to understand how that culturally stands then and how it's moved all the way forward to stand now, to where I can give that to you to understand the principalities that are pushing against you, okay? Because you are kings and queens, okay? There's no doubt about it. None. Not at all. You have the Word with the Father. You have Jesus, okay? You're Messiah and King, okay? You have these things that can actually show you your imaging, showing you your affirmations, showing you what you're putting in front of you. It's just like I said about the welder. Before he does a weld, he sees that weld, okay? Before you torque a bolt and you set your torque wrench, you see that already done, okay? You're already done before you even started the job. So I'm just trying to tell you that what you're forecasting is the same as catching your meditation. The Father would download you and be the best person you can possibly be. Okay? Because when you prick that guy, he's going to go into that cycle. Okay? He'll have to change. Evil at this point in time is fleeing. Okay? So what you got to understand is that everything that you think Trump's doing, good or bad, the thing that what you got, the difference in between the Republican and Democrat, there is no difference in between you people. You're still people. Okay? You still have to love each other at the end of the day. If you don't, then you're falling in the trap, okay, of what Satan has said. You got to say, okay, let's say there's 50% Republican, 50% Democrat. Well, if 50% of the Democrats are over here, I'm hating on Trump, and you got 50% I'm loving on Trump, okay, that's called a stagnation, okay? You have to be subordinate one way or the other. Whatever the percentage goals go. Because you got to understand that natural law, okay, pushes you the direction that what you should go. Even though you want to hold your ground over here, you got to say, okay, he's my president. Okay, well, I have to follow behind that president whether he does good, bad, or ugly. You look at Biden. Now, I got to say about Biden, look, he wanted the job. He should have had the job. He got the job, no matter what happened. But the person that was there didn't really understand that he wasn't secure enough in his own uh, holiness inside of him, the righteousness that he's trying to carry. He didn't have a team of people around him to lock those prayers around that president. Myself, I think that was not. I think that was more divination that took him over than Alzheimer's or anything like that. Because I'm gonna tell you what, these cats are strong in it. Okay, they'll try to pollute your mind, and you don't know where you're at. Chaos spells. It is there right now. Who's ever listening to this? They're trying to figure out what I know to try to keep going this way, that way, this way, that way in front of me. Well, guess what? I'm shot up with God. No weapon forged against me shall prosper. And I know it. That's the difference. You're not going to budge me out of it. So the thing about it is that understanding these deities and how they moved everything forward to penetrate your world to make you think that, oh, it's fine, well, and dandy. It's your community. It's your love. It's your helping. It's your affirmation about what you're going to do in front of yourself. Like I said, your choices are your choices, not the outside world's. Okay? Because they're pushing that on you. The narratives, it's on TV 24/7. It's on your phone 24/7. Have a Big Mac. Have a heart attack. Have some liver. Live forever. I don't know. But the thing about it is that these people are very good. The snake charmers, I should say, are very good at what they do. They're very slick. So you got to be understanding that you have the love of Jesus inside of you. You took him in your heart and you was baptized, and the Holy Spirit is riding on you. You got a direct vessel. You got a direct megaphone to the Father. Okay? And like I said, it's like a bowl of spaghetti on the planet. He knows everything that's going on. So, as I keep going and giving this out to you guys, hang on. It's going to get real wild. He showed me a bunch of stuff today that it's it's from way back then, okay, to now, and they've been using the same tools, just refining the tools, is all Satan has been doing. So the separation means there has to be congregation. Congregation means that there has to be community. And they don't want that. They don't want you helping each other. They want you mad at your next door neighbor. Okay? Well, how you doing? Oh my gosh. That person won't leave me alone. But just what I'm saying, spread that love. Spread it out there. I'm doing the very best I can to tell every one of you, just reach up and give a gorilla a great big kiss. But anyhow, the thing about it is that what they have done, the principalities has come against you. And they started about 27, 28 years ago. I can remember when it first started happening. Does everybody remember Will Smith and Enemy of the State? Now, whenever, I look at the same things that y'all look at, but I look at it like 15D, understanding that they had that technology then. Can you imagine what they have today? So AI is coming out. Like I said, you might see me one day with the body of a goat and a pitchfork and hay. So I just want to tell you, just hang on. It's gonna get bumpy. But I'm gonna be reading Ezekiel, and it's the prophet's vision. Is what it is, and it is heavy. But anyhow, I'm 31 minutes. I had a lot to say again. I've been talking for almost an hour on Twitch. So Twitch tonight at 8 o'clock. I'm going to go through the same thing, and then I'm going to read out Ezekiel. And what you need to understand is that I believe it's I Am Servant 777. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But anyways, everybody go over there and check that out. And give me a hoo-yah. Okay, well, anyways, I'll get off here. I am servant. I am Pisces. I love you guys. You're God's children. Okay? The Most High. Bye.